Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of the Bob Movie Crew. I am Neil. That's Mark.
Most of the time, what's going on, peoples?
Yeah, what's up? If you like the content, you could just hit the like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Yeah, let me get the community growing. If you dislike, you could also dislike too. If you don't agree, put it in the comment section. Let us know what you thought, good or bad, about any of our reviews, and let's get the conversation going about popular culture and entertainment. All right, Mark. So today, what are we reviewing?
We are reviewing the latest release from the DCAU, which is the DC Animated Universe. So they released Injustice, which is based on the comic arc of that by the same name, and there also is a video game that released that apparently is a direct sequel to the comic book arc. So I just want to put this out there now for all the DC fanboys that watch. My
Boys and
review,
girls.
fanboys and girls, sorry, will be directly about the movie. Nothing to do with what happened in the comics, nothing to do with the video games. So don't mark me too hard because one is marked real close and I really, I really put the back and forth. So my review will be strictly on the movie.
Spoiler alert. Just let anybody know, spoiler alert for this movie. If you haven't watched Injustice or anything to do with this subject matter, you can pause now, put this in watch later, and go, and you could even favorite too, wait. And you can go ahead and watch Injustice, and then you could come back to hear our review. Yeah, so based on a 2013 comic book and the comic book run and the video games by NetherRealm and Warner Brothers. So let's get into it, Mark. Basically, what Injustice is about, it's pretty much a take on the Justice League turning rogue, turning, for all intents and purposes, bad. And it is not where they're not in a world where they are already bad. It's not one of those universes where they are the bad guys. They are good to start. And then through a series of events, pretty much surrounding Superman, things go awry. They have motivations to turn rogue. It's one of those things where they don't see themselves as the villains. They see themselves as doing for the greater good. But they pretty much create a restricted state, a police
dictatorship.
Yeah, a dictatorship, a police state, and yeah, it's all surrounding Superman and some of the tragedies he had in his life very, very recently, and it's all a lot happens to him one time in a very short space of time, and it's really too much to bear for him, and he starts reassessing his role on planet Earth and what he really needs to do, and it's fueled by what he thinks is his failure surrounding some of the losses he would have suffered. So, Mark, Injustice, tell me what you thought about it.
Right off the bat, the violence was violence was magnificent. I loved it. Magnifique. It was awesome. It was good to see Superman put the switching off. He went from being super whole to like, yeah, I just don't care when I can't do me nothing, and this is how it's gonna be. And I think that's what a lot of the Superman detractors have been wanting. Like that's what they want. Just give us that one time where he says, I am the shit, and y'all can't do anything about it. And it was fun to watch him just decide, well, you know what, I'm gonna done all crime, all war, all dictators, not done with. And I was just like, okay, well, I'm for it. And I have very few critiques of the movie, but we can get into that a little later. But I really love seeing what would happen if Superman decided just to turn off. I say, well, we can get on this road, and the division it caused along among the Justice League, you could always tell who would stick with Batman and who will go with Superman. And I have to say that Wonder Woman is the ultimate gas station. Like throughout the whole movie, she is just gassing at Superman. But, let me do that. Yeah, we should do that. Like, yeah, that makes sense. Let me do it. And it's only when like in her mind that when Superman crossed the line, like everything he did up to that point, when he crossed the line, when he committed this act that she deemed was crossing the line, there she was like, maybe I should pull. Maybe I should pull in the ropes here a little bit.
Oh, but you can't pull back the leg. You cannot pull back the leg.
Especially with Superman, like you can't pull it. No,
can't pull back the leg.
She was like, all right, well, we can go have a good brouhaha here. We can go fight it out, and it was good. Like I said, I really love the banter between Batman and Nightwing. I think like their scenes were like the best in the movie. Damon Wayne is still a dick. I loved it. The negatives for me were I think there were a lot of plot lines and storylines that they kind of put in there, but they didn't expand upon. And I guess because they were hemmed up by the time.
Mhm.
But I feel like the Dick becoming Deadwing or whatever.
Such an original name,
I'm
Deadwing.
saying Deadwing. But I was saying I figured that he would have been a little more pivotal to the story arc, and I think he was
Or, or
underused.
or at least a little more explanation
Yeah,
as
as
to
to why
yeah
he was given the powers to combat,
yeah.
and that I think that's like I said that subplot was just there. Like I think it felt a little ham-fisted. Like or let's just put it there to for
For the
fan
fans of
service.
for the fans of Nightwing,
Yeah.
don't let me just kill Nightwing and let him go alone.
Exactly. So
Which is
there's
sick
that.
because men ain't killing anybody other heroes that day.
I'm
Jesus.
saying because they made take out Flash in like the first 10 minutes in the movie, and I was like, but wait, just so?
And these
Like,
men are dead pleasant.
I'm saying
None of these heroes died pleasantly.
none. And I'm like, all right, that made the sense. And then like again, one of my biggest issues was how they resolved it. Like I would have loved if the movie went down swinging. Like I know you gotta bring back Superman to the light. Yeah, I knew they had to bring back Superman to the light. But I think the ending, like the third act, and how they did it was a little cheesy. I wanted I wanted to be like a knockdown drag out. Like you realize like you destroying half the planet just to make it safe. Like that
Oh,
sort of
but
thing.
you
But
but hold on, Mark. You know how people feel about Superman destroying half the planet? Come on, no.
and that's why I wanted it. That's like I mean, if you're gonna go down this line for me, if you're going down this line,
Mm,
let me not dip my toes in the water.
we dive in.
Let me dive in and let me have a whole knockdown drag out fight. Like let he be kill most of the Justice League, which
Oh,
is
but
what I think.
he
He
did.
did. He did. But then you going to other realms to bring.
I understand what you mean. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I
Mm.
feel like they should have done on a yeah we beat Superman, but like at what cost to the planet did we beat Superman?
Mm.
And then he just was like, oh, all right, you know what? Again, it's like the man had like he man was like under house arrest. We can just put you in a cell with a red sunlight, and then when we need you, we can let you out. But like that ain't a punishment. The man still coming out
But what you can do,
to
but what can you do with Superman? Let's be honest. Short of killing him or hurting him, what can you do?
agreed,
All you could do is
agreed,
imprison him,
agreed.
depower
But
him,
what
and
I'm saying,
imprison him.
but if you imprisoning him and he still can't come out to do good, like I think that kind of is a work release program. Like you
Yeah.
use you like KCP on the Lakers.
It's a basketball joke. That's a hilarious basketball joke. But no, you see, I understand what you're saying. Don't get me wrong. I see it differently though, and I can get
All right.
into it when I get to my points. I don't know if you're finished, but
I pretty much frazzled because I'm interested to hear your side. But like I said, my only problem was well that and another problem I had was the animation. I'm not a big fan of the drawing style. You could see there was this every time you look at somebody knuckles, there was like a black
yeah,
line.
yeah, like a black thing. Yeah. I
I like
thought I was
I like
noticing it, right? And I was like,
exactly. I like you notice like it's not a one or two thing. You notice it throughout the
everybody
whole thing.
knuckles.
Yeah, and it was kind of distracting because you're watching
Mm,
it and you see like, but huh? So
mm.
like I said, the animation to me was a deterrent.
It was
It
a little
was a
softer. It was a little more. I find the art style. I didn't have a problem with it. I actually liked it in parts, particularly in the close-ups of some of the heroes. But I do understand what you mean. It is, and this is gonna sound strange coming talking about an animated film, but it looked too cartoony. If you understand what I mean, like
yes,
because
yeah,
Plastic Man was in it, he's more of a comic relief. He's more
yeah,
comic relief, and his obviously transformations and art style was a bit goofy and stuff like that. So, but everybody else, it looked a bit. I would say I guess I would call it Saturday morning cartoonish. The art style reminded me of like I don't know if you are familiar with stuff like Ben 10 or
yeah, a
Grim
bit,
and Mandy,
yeah,
that kind of stuff. Like the art style was similar to that, and it's more. a modern thing. I didn't necessarily have a problem with it, but there were times it was distracting. As you said, with the knuckles, everybody hand got this black strip on each
Right.
finger, and it's
Yeah.
like, and it kind of trying to figure out, is that supposed to be here? Is that supposed to be shadow? It's kind of weird if it's shadow. It's just strange. Anyhow,
Yeah, it
we
was.
we don't want to make this a knuckle gate, but for for me, I thought this was a good film. As you asked me at the beginning, well, you asked me off camera what I thought about it, and I thought I did not think it would have been this good because I would have read some of the comic books, I would
Mhm.
have played the video games, and to me, I got it. I am Superman is my favorite superhero. So to see Superman turn evil, even though the reasons are quote unquote justifiable, I was not necessarily a fan of those story arcs in the comic and the video game. But I actually like this because they spent a lot of time, and these are the parts that I really like. For me, I like the scenes when they got into the human element of the Justice League and of Superman and of Batman. So, like, obviously, Justice League is surrounded by Superman and Batman. You know, they're the two best superheroes or what have you, and they obviously cause there to be a division and polarizing situation within the Justice League. For example, Batman is hard or soft, whatever you think about his methods or whatever, he stands on the side of good. He does not believe he should be judge, jury, and executioner. He just rounds up the bad guys and puts them into the system. No. I always tell the Joe that Batman is the worst superhero because Gotham, crime don't go down in Gotham. Because he's just put them in Arkham Asylum, the man's come back out and it's better. Anyhow, that's a joke. But it is interesting because it explores certain themes within that context, right? Because something happens to Superman. Superman is driven to the point of insanity. And if you really look at it, if you really think about it, it's a brilliant plan with the Joker. That's why I think he is the greatest villain in DC. I love him because he literally has no other desire than to cause chaos and push people to their breaking point and to see what would be their breaking point. Is like he pushing this button all the time just to see you break. He don't necessarily want you to do good or evil, but he just wants to say, well, if I do this to you, it will break me. So let me see what he can do to you. Again, I like the moments when they talked about when they spoke about the humanity of it all. Superman losing a great deal, and he's obviously thinking that the best thing to do is to protect this planet by ceasing all crime, all war, and everything like that. And through those means, he aligns himself with some nefarious characters and they manipulate him, and it goes even further down the rabbit hole. And I always hated the fact that just like for Batman, how they write Batman to be this human being that just has this intellect and foresight to always have the right plan for the right moment for the right time. For Superman, I don't like the fact that they always write him to be this kind of blunt instrument that can always be manipulated. But when you write these sort of characters, you have to have some sort of
Weakness.
psychological weakness and everything like that. So I like the human element. I love how they explore the friendships and the tension between those friendships between Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, all of them. I always liked when they were in kind of quiet moments. They spoke to each other by first names and everything. I always love that in the comics, in the
Hmm.
movies. I love that. I love the fact that you hear references to Superman being Batman's best friend and people know it. I like the fact that a lot of people were saying, Batman, why weren't you there for Superman, and Superman, how you could be at war with Batman. I like the fact that within the Justice League, within the the confines of these superheroes, you get to see the friendship and the strain on these friendships as they go. And then too, something happens, Batman has to show. I see a side of Batman that I've only seen one other time, where he cries and he lets somebody. Well, yeah, he lets somebody comfort him.
Hmm.
I've never seen him let anybody comfort him, so it was nice to see that, and it was interesting to see certain things play out. So I like the human element of it. I like the dramatic pieces of it. The violence was, as you say, amazing. Obviously, they had to keep it PG because you didn't really see the deaths, but they leave it up to your imagination, and the way the situations to set it up is like, goodness gracious me,
I'm saying.
he did not meet a pretty end at all, and a lot
Nope.
of people died kind of rough. In terms of Superman letting go, I don't even think he fully let go, because if he had fully let go, let's be honest, Bruce would be dead. you
Agreed.
know
Agreed.
Everybody that opposed Superman would be dead. I feel as though he was a bit lenient. I think he still was trying to hold on to some small sliver of his humanity, and that's very interesting to me. I unlike you, I did like how it ended because in the comic books and in the video games, he's simply just arrested because other Justice League members from other universes came in and defeated him,
Yeah,
and
yeah, but
they put a
and this is
stop to
why
it.
I said this is why I said what I said at the beginning,
Mhm.
because I researched like the story arc and the game and stuff like that. I looked it up on whatever to
Mhm.
see like how far it went, which is
Mhm.
why I said what I said at the beginning, because it's based on the movie.
Right.
To me,
Mhm.
like, but anyhow, sorry for interrupting.
Yeah, no problem. I like how it ended because for me, I actually don't like how it ended in the comic books and in the video game because in the video game they make it that Superman is just a villain. He is a villain. He believes
Mm.
what he believes. He is resolute in his evil or in his
Mm-hmm.
malintent for evildoers and everything like that to the point of corruption. I like the fact that it ended where he gets back his humanity. Right? He gets back his humanity. He realizes that he's made wrong. He's done wrong, and he goes off somewhere, some just to kind of because you really can't do nothing with Superman other than and
Yeah,
anything, and
fair
that's what I
enough.
like
Yeah,
about it because with Superman, other than killing Superman or hurting Superman, you have to appease to his humanity. If for whatever reason he loses that, then that's the end of that. And I like how they did that, and it made sense. It stands to reason if they were going to bring in the multiverse and other Earths and everything like that, it would stand to reason that if you can bring in another Justice League, you could as well bring in another Lois and calm him
agreed.
down. Because let's be honest, if you bring in another Justice League, that would have added another half hour to the movie. They would be fighting all now, bursting one another, and in the end, you know that the Justice League from Earth One can defeat the Justice League from this
Right.
Injustice
Yeah,
League
this
from
reality.
this
Yeah.
reality, and everything is going to be resolved. And to me, it's just interesting that you bring Lois in and you have a resolution to that. Now, I think the reason why in the comic books and the video game why they decided to keep Superman evil and imprison him, and he sticks to his convictions. Depending on what you read and how you go about it, he was put in the Phantom Zone. In another, I think in another comic book, he was depowered by Red Kryptonite. But regardless, he it's almost like they do that to stretch it out because he's always going to come back to be the villain. There's always going to be like
Mm-hmm.
Brainiac coming into the picture or another super villain coming into the picture where they
Yeah.
need Superman and Superman's going to come out, but then he's going to use the opportunity to get out. And that's going to make him no different than what? Lex Luthor, no different than the Joker, no different than some of the other bad guys.
Any villains in their pantheon. Yeah.
Right. So to me, I prefer it like that. I technically don't, well, technically, I don't really want to see another sequel to this within the realm of Superman being evil because
Mm.
Superman is one of those characters. Again, I make joke on Batman all the time, but I have said in multiple spaces, Superman is not well written either. Very few DC characters were written originally well. It's just that through the years they've had to do a lot to humanize and to characterize and
Mm-hmm.
do all sorts of things to make these characters a bit more relatable or a bit more consistent in some of the things they do. So for me, I liked it. I liked the movie. It did what it had to do for a DCAU
Mm-hmm.
movie. There was violence. There was a bit of intrigue. It did go off the rails, so it wasn't like because I went into it saying, okay, I know what this can be about. But then after a while, coming on to the third act, I was like, I ain't sure how this can end because they deviated from the source material. So I liked it, man. I liked it. What would you rate
Five
Injustice?
S's.
Five?
5 S's. What are the S? The S on Superman's chest.
Don't you mean hope?
Again, if you get that reference, then you're old enough.
And not the B on back my belly. Anyhow, yeah, that's
Again, if you get that reference, you gotta rub the with some veggies.
yeah. Oh shoot. Right. So, how would you rate this movie, Mark? You rate it
I
out of
would rate
5?
it. I give it a 4. Yeah, I give it a 4.
Well, for me, I would give it 3.5 out of 5. I still think that they did this some justice and not injustice. So, Mark, I'm here all week, people.
I'd like to thank everyone that has subscribed, all the new subscribers, everybody that's given us feedback. Again, don't forget to like, comment, share. Let us know. Do you think we're talking shit? Do you agree with what we say? Are there any other movies in the DCAU that you would like us to look at? Anything in the animated realm? It could be Marvel. It could be anime. It could be anything. Just let you know if you're going to know any anime. We ain't too versed in that day, so
Yeah.
Again, what we say is based on what we watch. Don't come with the pitchforks. But yeah, we just want to thank everybody that's been showing us love so far. Whether it's been critique on how we go about, what you love about it, what you hate about it, we love it all. So just let me keep it up. We on the road to 50 subscribers. So share, get your friends to like, get your friends to subscribe. It's free. Ain't hurting you. It ain't hurting you. Just free. Who don't want free in these pandemic times? Huh? Everything free.
In these panoramic times. So peace and love, everybody, and be safe.
Yes, I.